It's a 75H gonna be.
Jesus, yeah. Yeah. We never ever saw the H's in
They
England.
only made like 50 of those.
Yeah. Marvellous.
A friend of mine, about 15 years ago, he gave me this set of pipes here. And that's all I had was a pipe. So one day I had nothing to do, they were sitting up the attic. So I went and got them, and it probably took me 10 years to put this together, to find the right block and rah, rah, rah.
And what block is that?
800?
That's
No, it's 1100.
it's actually a 90.
90, right.
I want to hear that when it fires up, Lee. We're waiting with bated breath.
It's getting hard to find some of it.
And this is the 650 XS. I love this.
It started his racing with one of these.
It took me 3 years just to get the cowling.
Did it really?
Like I've never seen one of these motors except the two I got.
Yeah, yeah, my son used to race these.
They didn't race these out the west coast very much.
No. I think Potter had one
It was a
once.
Twister 1.
Yeah, the old silo. Yeah.
I just took the lower unit off and making another adapter for a friend of
Yeah.
mine. I don't know if you've seen any of these. This is Yamato.
Good Lord, yeah, it rhymes with tomato.
They
Yeah.
race these in Japan,
Yeah,
like
they
horses.
do. In the evening races, they've got 20 identical boats, 20 jockeys, and they draw lots for which boats, and it's the biggest gambling evening on television.
I got that actually locally. And a friend of ours died, and I acquired the Stinger and the Strangler over there. And they were all in parts. Took me a while to figure that out.
Yeah, you were never much of an OMC
And
mechanic.
I got this T2X. When the guy took the Apple box off the shelf and said T2X parts from Lee, it was my old motor.
Was it really? Jesus.
I had 6 of these at one time.
Yeah.
They're a nice motor, actually.
Yeah, did you ever get one of Alexander's?
I've never seen one of those.
The setups. Seabold's still got a bunch of them for, in his
They
workshop.
must look wicked. I just acquired this and I just put the Speedmaster on it. But this is a 15 or a 12-inch tower.
A 12-inch leg. Yeah.
I've only seen pictures of 3 of these and this is one of them.
That's a nice shape.
It must have been something that experimental they did, right?
Yeah.
Wonder what hull that would go on, because you wouldn't have a very deep tunnel.
Well, I mean, hydros with the things.
Oh, with
that-
hydro, sure,
Yeah.
yeah, it wouldn't matter at that point.
Good God. The first motor that I ever went racing with.
Is it?
The old 800, yeah. Yeah.
There's one. I need the BP decal. There's a couple in the bottom of your toolbox.
I wish I had. I'll tell you what, Bill Welsh is the one. Willa. He calls himself Willoughby on Scream and Fly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you had a couple of those in your toolbox. I saw them.
Did I really?
This is a T3.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
This is another XS I'm working on.
Yeah.
I just had a guy make me these front plates. This is a downdraft.
Uh-huh. Oh, that was a big old bucket on there, wasn't it? Yeah.
This is a 1500 XS.
Did they? Was that an SJ motor in its day, or did they have to step that up? Because
Most of these.
that's a
motors-
stock lower unit.
Most of these motors all raced in the era that I raced, right?
Yeah. Yeah, well, that had to be the early 70s, didn't it? Yeah, late 60s, early 70s.
This is an Alto 460.
Good Lord.
And the reason they call it 460 was it's 4 cylinders, 60 cubic inch. And this used to race against the Mark 75, 60 cubic inch.
These were the flying machine though in the day.
This is an alcohol burner. It's a KG4. Here's a Chrysler 135 with stacks on it. Here's a BP with stacks on it. You ever hear of one of these? Martin?
No. No, I've never come across one.
It has a flapper valve in it. It
Right,
works off
yeah.
the crankshaft.
Yeah.
But
Well, don't the Koenig do that as well?
anyways, you tilt this up, and if you break the shear pin, there's a little thing here. You push the button, and you can swing the prop back into the boat, so you can change the shear pin.
Yeah, you see, so the innovations in those days were good
This
too.
is another 650 XS. This used to be a big class. They called
Yeah,
that SE.
I see a nice prop on that too.
I built this for Tom, kind of. These are the steering bars from Tom. They're brand new. Prop from Tom.
Very nice.
This is a small lower unit. I forget what they call it, but it's a lot
A
smaller.
lot narrower, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't
Well,
have,
that was probably the biggest class in Europe at one time.
yeah,
it
and,
was-
and,
it
the, and
It
the,
was big here.
the performance was really good for the size of boat and the
I don't know
horsepower.
if you ever seen one of these. This is a 44 XS. A 4-cylinder. It's a
Yeah.
50 actually. This was big here for a while.
Is that 44 cube?
It's a cute
Yeah.
little motor.
That is a cute little one. Look at the lower
Yes,
unit
I've
on that.
Never ever seen one.
No, I didn't.
No.
think so. And I don't know if you had these there, but this is what they call a toilet bowl, 20H.
Oh yeah, the old 28,
Yeah,
yeah.
those
My
there.
son had one of these. I managed to pick one up from somewhere on I swapped it for a canoe.
And this is 7.5J.
Yeah.
And this is a Wizard.
Yeah, I had a Wizard.
You had one?
Yeah.
I didn't think you'd see those over there.
No, I had that. Well, it wasn't the Wizard, the Forerunner of Keykeepers.
Yeah, this is a Mercury.
Yeah.
And they built it for some auto,
Yeah, it
Store.
was like Walmart or something.
like
you know.
Simpson Sears or something.
Yeah.
There's another one there.
Yeah. It's a proper garage.
On a flambeau. And it's different than anything. in
Never
that
have.
When you take it apart, it's like a violin case. Let me just get by there.
Yeah.
This whole thing is all bolted together. I've kind of cut it away, but you see this, it all lifts off in one piece. So your drive shaft and gears and everything's exposed. I kind of made a cutaway of this one.
Yeah.
Look at that. What year? Roughly? 30s?
This one was sunk in salt water and hung in the rafters for 30 years. To get it apart, I had to
Hammer and chisel.
drill holes in the pistons. Great fun. Actually, there's another one down there. This one here is the Sport King Lawson. It's a 4-stroke.
Good Lord, that has got to be one of the earliest 4-strokes then, hasn't it? I never did or anything like it.
Probably never see another one either.
This is the one you had at the house the other day.
Yeah. Just have a look in there.
Good Lord.
The pistons,
Absolutely amazing. So,
the pistons in here.
yeah, and that control the prop.
The-
And that, what's this then? The fuel?
There's no carburetor, there's no float bowl. You just put the fuel in there and it sucks it into the carb and away you go. The spark plug's in here. And the points, I don't have the points, that's the problem. And the exhaust comes out here, goes up and down. This is 1938. Kind of unique. This is a Keykeeper chainsaw I'm working on.
I didn't even know he did chainsaws. No. I had one of those in bits underneath my bench before I gave up the garage, and we never did put it together again. Exactly that.
This is 1931.
Yeah.
And this came with a chrome flywheel, polished gas tank and polished lower unit from the factory. And this has open exhaust here.
Oh dear. Yeah.
That's the first one you ever raced?
That's the first one my son ever raced, was the, you know, because they could race up to 10 horsepower. That's what defined it. Not cubic inches, horsepower. Yeah.
Here's a 28 without the conversion kit.
Yeah.
And here's one with.
Wow.
And here's a 30H, 55H.
Yeah, the 55H was the most desired motor in England. I mean, they never ever dropped in price, and you could never ever get a spare one anyway, you know, simple as that. There just wasn't any.
Yeah, and here's another 700X.
Yeah.
You ever see one of these over there?
Nope.